here's the star of New York Auto Show, the new Range Rover Sport. Introduced last night, Daniel Craig drove it into town. Big change for this car because it's an all-aluminium car. It's had a dramatic loss of weight, 420 kilos they're talking about, and it's a completely different car to the previous Range Rover Sport. It almost ought to have a different name. Now I'm going to take you around some of the details on this car that really make it so different. First of all, it's a stretched wheelbase, 7 inches extra in the wheelbase, so there's way more space inside. There's a real hint of Evoque about this car, especially from the rear. One of the aspects I'm not quite so sure about, this is the supercharged version, so 510 horsepower. And yet it looks a bit weedy around those exhaust pipes. I'm very surprised at how that looks. But overall, I think it's a great design. Really huge doors on it. There's something that you do note on this car. It's very easy to get in and out, but whoa, look at the size of that door. It's like a barn door, but there's much more space than there ever used to be. In the back, they call this a 5-seater. Well, I don't really want the middle seat, but what's nice is it's a full-size seat with a headrest, rather than having that funny headrest. You used to get in a Range Rover Sport and used to dig into your back. Not on this model. So it's a proper 5-seater. The other thing I quite like about it is on the option list there is a third rotor seat. £1,500 buys you these emergency seats in the back that flick up at a touch of a button. A really nice touch to have a 5+2 seating option like that. Style, I think it is one of the best designs we've seen of this sort of genre of car. We sort of got used to this new look of Land Rover with the Evoque, but this drags it on to another level. Now, inside, what's different to this, to the full fat Range Rover, is a higher console. Step inside. Oh, there we go. If you see here, it's got an LCD dash and a centre screen just like on the full-size Range Rover, and also this, a gear change rather than that funny rotary knob. Welcome return to have that, I think, in the car. And you get paddles behind the wheel to change gear on the 8-speed gearbox. Again, emphasising how different this car is to the other Range Rovers in the range. There is standard option is a single-speed transfer gearbox. What am I talking about? Well, you haven't got the low and high range that you used to get in Range Rovers for ultimate off-road ability. This one is the first Land Rover product I know where it hasn't got that on the bigger cars. Yes, you've got it in Evoque, sorry, you've got a single-speed one there. But on this, it's all about its on-road ability. And the single-speed transfer gear case means there's 58% power goes to the rears, 42 to the front, rather than a normal 50-50 split. And the supercharged one, this car, they're talking under 5 seconds to 60, top speed limited to 155 miles an hour. And they're even talking about lap times. I had a call from one of the engineers, they're around 8:32 around the Nordschleife at the moment with the supercharged car. That's the sort of speed that a Cayenne Turbo was doing 2-3 years ago. So this car is genuinely going to compete dynamically, they're telling me, with that of a Porsche Cayenne, which the previous one never did because he was so overweight. It was like Isobard Kingdom Brunel sort of designed it or something, but he was so heavy. So it's great that it's competitive now at about 2.1 tonnes instead of 2,085. Some of the options you get on this car discuss the rear flip seats. Another one is the panoramic roof. The glass roof has proved a hugely popular on the full-size Range Rover and on the Evoque. I'm sure it's going to be equally the same on this one. Strangely, the LCD dash is another area that is an option. Normally you get analog dials there, but I'm sure people will go for this. And also on this car, they're introducing a... Is that going to work? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so that is going to be an option, the LCD screens, and it's all configurable, and you press sport and then it all turns red and, you know, super sporty. You're getting an app with this one on your iPhone where you can check remotely how much fuel you've got in your car, what sort of range you've got, even where you parked it. It's got a sort of tracker on it, so you can, if you're out in town and you've gone walking about and you don't know where you park, press that and it'll give you the quickest way back to the car. All sort of clever stuff that we're sort of seeing on this car, but it's been introduced for this one. There's even a Wi-Fi hotspot in here. It takes up to 8 devices. It only seats 7, so I don't know why you want 8 devices, but anyway, it's better than everybody else. The model for Europe is bound to be the diesel, V6 diesel, there's a 258 horsepower one and a 292 horsepower one. I find the claimed acceleration pretty remarkable. 6.9 seconds for the SD V6. Starting price 51,550. So it hasn't had this jump in price that we saw with the big Range Rover that was significantly more expensive than the model it replaced. This one's about £2,000 more than the outgoing model. So it all sort of adds up. I think this is going to be a bit of a hit in the showroom. I think they're going to be in short supply, and depreciation isn't going to be a problem for the first few years, because it just sort of feels right. It feels a useful car, and the added sort of dynamics that we've not come to expect from Range Rover Sport. This is going to be on another level. So yeah, here we go again. It's Evoque time, times 2.